Alright, what's good YouTube? We're back here with this special tutorial today. As you can see by the title, we are actually going to learn how to engineer and mix a underground song. So if you haven't already, comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next video by dropping a comment in the comment section. Go ahead and like this video if you like it. And let me know what you want to see more of in the future. So like I said in the beginning, guys, we are going to learn how to record well, I've already recorded, but we're going to learn how to mix a song in FL Studio. So I made a quick little song with a short little verse here. First, what we'll do is we'll go over, I'll play the song one time, and then we will go in and learn how to mix it and you know, kind of see the process of each step of the way. I'm using Waves plugin, so you'll need a Waves subscription if you already don't have that, or you either pay for the you know, the Waves bundles or whatever you need, but I'm using Waves plugins. In the future, I probably will do one with the stock plugins and see if we can put one together like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and hop into FL Studio and take a listen to the song. Damn, blowing pressure back, bitch, you knew that. High as fuck, damn, got a new sack. Caught and lock it down, that's a new pack. Fake and friendly round the ops, we don't do that. Catch him lacking, pop him, drop for a few racks. That nigga pussy, he so soft, he a fruit snack. I'm trying to go, I don't retreat, we don't do that. Push up tongues, drugs down, man, it's all black. Blowing pressure back, bitch, you knew that. High as fuck, damn, got a new sack. Caught and lock it down, that's a new pack. Fake and friendly round the ops, we don't do that. Alright guys, and that's it. So no crazy rap or anything like that, but I'm able to put a song together, and now let's go over the mixing process. So you guys got to hear the song, so let's go ahead and go to our mixer and go over what the basics of what I did. I'm going to kind of just basically explain everything. I'm not going to go through each VST and my whole vocal chain, but I'm going to try to explain each and every VST and the reason of why I'm using it, so that way whatever DAW that you have or whatever VSTs that you can use to actually mix, it'll still all apply. So that's why what I'm using isn't important as so much as the idea of the concepts that I'm explaining. So I'm no crazy mixer or master or anything, but I do know a thing or two. So this is just what I've got put together in my FL Studio vocal chain and on my template setup for recording. This is just, you know, something to get by with if you are an underground artist wanting to record, somebody to try to have a nice little vocal mix. But yeah, so first things first is trying to be organized. You want to be organized and have things like your lead bus and your ad-libs bus. So let's just make it organized and keep it simple. So we got the lead bus, ad-libs bus. Then I've got my inserts that you have, like where I punched in for like my ad-libs. So I have like my double stack, my center ad-lib, my left ad-lib, my right ad-lib, and then a telephone effect ad-lib, just to kind of make things pretty simple. Then I've got my reverbs over here, and then I've got my delays all set up over here with, you know, the different delays and the different effects that I've got. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. And then I've got everything routed the way that needs to be routed. All my main vocals are going into this lead bus. All my ad-libs are going into this ad-lib bus. My lead bus is then going into my Premaster bus, and then same thing with my ad-lib bus where I've got a vocal chain there, and then my Premaster bus goes into the master. And I've got a few things on the master as well, and then obviously the record track's there, and the record track is attached to the lead bus. And then obviously the lead bus is then routed over here to the side chain to these other effects over there. So hopefully that all makes sense if you guys have an understanding of how all this stuff works, but hopefully I explain it kind of clearly and plainly and as simple as possible. But yeah, so first things first, in the lead bus. So in my lead bus, the first concept that you want to kind of understand is when you get your vocals, you want your vocals to be clean. You don't want any excess sound, any background noises. You don't want to hear no fan. You don't want to hear any humming. You don't want to hear somebody talking in the background. So you need like a noise suppressor. So the noise suppressors of my choice that I use through Waves is the NS1. And you know, I just use that noise suppressor, and I throw that on there. Then once you have that vocal, once the raw vocal is coming into the actual DAW of your choice, and you're hearing it, and you want to have it as clean and as stripped as possible, and that's why we have that noise suppression on there. So then once it is like that, you want to go ahead and start to the tuning process. So my tuning process, VST of choice is auto tune. Once you add the auto tune on there, you've got it basically just dead silence in between your voice and your vocals with the noise suppressor. Then you got your auto tune to tune it, and then we go in and you want to EQ it. So for the first EQ, typically what I use that EQ for is like pretty much basically just like subtractive EQ, taking out things that I don't like, kind of toning down things and carving the actual vocal itself. Then a lot of people like to stack these double compressors here, the CLA2A and the CLA76. I use both of these compressors and any compressors are stacked on top of each other. And the way that I look at it is the first compressor, I want it to grab and collect all of the sound in itself and just kind of like do a light compression over the overall vocal sound that's coming in. Then I want the next suppressor to fine tune what it's already captured. And so that's how you kind of want to stack your compressors and how to think about it. And it doesn't have to be these two compressors here in particular. You can use like your RVox compressors if you're using waves. You can use any FabFilter compressors or any other compressors that you need. But usually I like to double stack it, where the first one is just doing like an overall big compression, just kind of like very light and just getting everything kind of even that's coming in. And then the second one is to fine tune it and narrow it out a little bit and get the best sound out of it. Then after that, after you're doing some compression to it, that causes a lot of high end, maybe some harshness. So I like to de-ess it. So I like to add some de-essing on there. Then I like to add a multi-band compressor where you can really fine tune the actual vocal, because now it's pretty clean. You've compressed it a couple of times. You've already taken out the negative EQ stuff that you don't need. So let's, compress the different bands. So your low end, your low mids, your mid frequencies, and then your high frequencies, or, high for however it's all broken up. And that's what I use a multi-band compressor for. And I'm using C4 for that. And then after you've done all of that, you kind of want to brighten it up and make it sound kind of good and add some saturation of some sort, which is where fresh air comes in. So I add fresh air to bring out the mids and bring out the highs so you can hear it a little bit better. So once we've done all that compression, kind of like smushed the sound, sculpted it, cleaned it, carved it up, now we want to make it sound like really polished and like out there, present and bright. Sometimes with that can bring a little bit of harshness. So that's where we have Soothe 2 to kind of like smooth it out. And then I add the fruity chorus just to kind of like help fill in the frequencies that you're hearing when you're actually listening through your headphones. So that's kind of how you want to break it down and kind of look at it. That's how my vocal chain is. That works best for me. That's what I think sounds good. Once I have that on my lead bus, I always send it over to a pre-mix, like a Premaster bus. On my Premaster bus, I like to do a little bit more light compression. And I use the same concept. So this, I'm using RVox, so I'm using it to like basically capture all of the sound. So this bus here is actually being sent the lead bus and the ad-libs bus. So basically I'm compressing my ad-libs and my lead together into one sound. So I'm capturing both of those two vocals coming in, and I'm compressing it on a wide scale, basically like capturing all the sound. Then I narrow it down and kind of fine tune it. And then I've got something like a vocal rider, which is this, where it kind of make sure that the levels are even. So like you might have a level to where my average tone of voice is like right here, but then I have parts where I'm singing or rapping and my vocals get up to here. What the vocal rider does is make that space a little bit closer, so it's a lot more level in the actual volume that's coming in. And then I add a little bit more, smoothing out of that vocal with Soothe 2. Again on that pre-master, and then that master goes into the actual master itself over here. And then once it's in the master, I just pretty much just add a limiter to it and just go from there. But that's pretty much all I add into like when I'm mixing or anything like that. So obviously on the lead vocals and the ad-lib vocals, I go and add reverb and delay. I kind of just mess with that, different delay settings and different reverb settings, and kind of play with that. And that's pretty much it. But that's how you basically want to kind of think about when you're doing a vocal chain. So no matter what VSTs you have or what DAW you're using, you want to use that kind of mind and that concept. So the best way that I've learned to kind of learn how to actually record and mix is, the best thing to do for me was find some VSTs that were easy for me to use, ones that I liked, the ones that I could understand how they work, and then just get really good with them. So I'm going to continue to use this vocal chain in these VSTs. I think one more thing that I may add is I might take out the fruity chorus here and add one more EQ. And I think if I did add another EQ, I'd probably put it like right here in between there. And I think I will do that and just add that fruity chorus as like a side chain, like I have the flanger over there as an effect. So I probably will actually do that. And do more of an additive EQ, so that way I can brighten that vocal up just a little bit after I've used Soothe on there. Or maybe I might do it in between there. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to those main vocals. And then once you've gotten to realize how to use these VSTs and really fine tune them and learn these tools really good, then you can go in and start changing up the VSTs if you want to go explore and expand. But you'll kind of have an idea of knowing how to record and mix. So like, if somebody dropped me off in Pro Tools, I could probably build a vocal chain that sounds pretty good and it's going to record good the same way, just like I've done it in FL Studio, same thing in Studio One, or any other DAW for that matter, because I have a pretty good idea of how it works. So once you've got a pretty good vocal chain for your lead one, you just copy it over to your ad-libs, and then you might tweak a few things, make things a little bit different, so your ad-libs are a little bit different than what your lead vocals are, but you use the lead vocals to build the ad-lib ones, and obviously you just make it slightly different. So hopefully I've explained this all pretty well and dumbed it down and made it as simple as possible. I don't want to go in and show settings and clicking on things and going in depth and in deep, on the actual vocal chain itself and what I'm doing just quite yet with you guys, because I want to kind of slowly introduce those things, because these are the questions and things that I wish I knew when I first started doing things with music, and and I didn't know how to find it. There wasn't this type of content out there on YouTube where I could just Google in YouTube a question and find somebody that's actually showing me how to do it, that's actually done it, and has accolades within the music industry that they can actually pull up and show. Because you can actually YouTube and Google my name and find the things that I've done over the years and see that I know what I'm talking about and I have this experience, and that's why I'm out here sharing it, because I want to teach the world and want people to kind of get better idea of how this music stuff works, because it's really fun. I enjoy it, and it's been life-changing for me. So I want other people to experience the same thing genuinely. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I hope that's kind of simplified things. Only other things that I may have didn't mention was just on your ad-libs. Obviously when you record them, you change the vocal, the volume, the pan to the left and right, adding the telephone effect, the little things like that, and then that's really about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this is a little bit different than our typical tutorials of, making beats. And, in the future, I will bring more of this. If you guys want to see more engineering stuff on FL Studio, let me know. Eventually, I'll start bringing some stuff in with Pro Tools as well. And as I begin to learn stuff, I'll show you so you guys can begin to learn as well. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow, like, comment, share, subscribe. Show some love to the social media. Follow me on all of my social media. Milan Makes Beats. If I got it, you'll find me. If I don't, you won't. And that's really all I got for you guys today, man. We'll be back next week for another tutorial, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section and what you guys want to see more of in the future, and we'll keep going and doing this thing. So that's about it. We'll be back next week. Peace.